Hi, I'm Carly and welcome back to Farmer Analytics. Today I'm going to show you a new product I just got in the mail. This is a sponsored video. I was asked to try out these collars and I couldn't be more excited to try them out. They are GPS satellite collars and we are going to be using them on our livestock guardian dogs who guard our goats. Now we have used GPS collars in the past and they have not worked out the way we thought they would. So we have been on the search for a collar that works well for our livestock guardian dogs because our livestock guardian dog, one of them, and their two goat companions have actually escaped off of our farm twice now. And they have ended up 5 miles away from our farm. Now, we are lucky enough that this local farmer that they keep showing up to his house, he has our number. He lets us know when they show up. We go pick them up and we bring them home. However, we don't want this to keep happening. So they keep getting out due to breaks in an electric netting. And this can be really common and something that happens often on farms where that netting is really temporary and it doesn't really hold up well to anything bumping into it or pushing it down. So this is something that we've been wanting to implement on our farm for a while, and we're excited to try out these new collars. The cool thing about these collars is that they are different from the ones we've tried previously. We've tried just GPS collars in the past, and we actually had some disconnect there at further mileage away, even though the collars were rated to go further. So these collars not only have a GPS tracking system, but they also have a electric fence that you can set up or a invisible fence, and that's really what we need here. So these are two different colors. You can see the colors on the sides here. First, we have a bright, almost like neon reddish orange, and a blue. And I really like this color up here, specifically because we have hunters around this area and hunting season is right around the corner. And this is a good color, especially for hunter safety and keeping our dogs safe during hunting season. So the first step I'm going to get done is downloading the app. This connects to an app on my phone, and I'll get that all set up and then let you guys know how that goes. Okay, so everything is all charged up, and we know this because when these are plugged in, they are lit up green. This one's ready. And this one's ready. So the cool thing about this app is that it's showing me that everyone is in their zones, that they're within the virtual fence that I set up, and that they are safe and that the GPS is connected. So we are going to spend some real time training these guys to these collars. This isn't just an overnight thing where we put them on and it works. We have to show them where that virtual fence is and train them to the different sounds and the different warning sounds that let them know that they're getting close to the perimeter fence. So we will spend the next couple weeks working on this, getting them all set up with these collars, and then we will report back to you and let you know how we like them. Okay, so I have both dogs hooked up to their new collars, and we got those fitted pretty easily. You just have to unscrew the nut on there and then fit it to them and screw it back on. So they're both pretty happy with their collars. I'm happy with how they look and how they fit. So we are going to start really slow on training for these guys. They've always only known a physical barrier, and this virtual fence is going to be a bit different for them. So we will probably start just one at a time. And the way I have it set up is to just perimeter this entire pasture, so that if they get out of one of these fenced areas, that there's an actual barrier for them to stay within our property. So the key here is that I'm keeping my physical fence up for predators, essentially. So a physical barrier for any sort of domestic dog or coyote or anything else that might want to come in. They also have a physical barrier that they can see to keep them away from the dogs as well. So I'm pretty excited about this setup because it will help us keep these guys a bit more contained for us. However, it also allows us way more freedom and way more sense of peace when having them out on the pastures here. Eventually, I'd like to be able to have them set up so that they know their barrier and they can go out on their own when we need them to and when we want them to. But when they're with stock, we're definitely going to keep our physical barriers for the stock as well, and for any potential predators as well. So just for this video today, I have separated these guys from their stock, so they're in a pen all by themselves. This was mostly for them to be able to focus and not have any negative associations with the stock and being with the stock, and basically to be able to train these guys up and do a little bit of familiarization with the system. Okay, so Davey has his SATELLAI collar on, but he also has a slip lead on because you should not hook a leash to that type of collar. It's not made for that. So we're gonna walk him around. We're gonna see how the collar alerts him when we get close to the perimeter fence. And then I'm just basically going to turn him around when he hears that sound, so he knows I hear that sound. I'm gonna take a hard turn right back to where I was supposed to be. So let's check it out. There it is. Okay, so we heard it. Come on. Good boy. It's just a little whistle. And obviously it kind of scared him because he's not used to that noise next to his head. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. So Davey's already starting to get the program here. He hears that whistle and then he looks at me and turns around. So he's understanding that that means he needs to pay attention. Okay, hi Davey. Davey, stay. Come on. Okay, Maybelle's turn. Oh, good. 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 Okay, so we'll keep working on this over the next couple weeks and we'll see how they adjust to these new collars. These are going to allow us a huge peace of mind, allow the dogs a little bit more freedom. If we want to move them without leashes back up into the barn at all, we won't have a worry doing that. and they will have a little bit more space to romp around when they want to. The other cool thing about these collars are that they track their health. So they tell us whether or not their movement is more or less than it normally is, and kind of keeps track of how they're doing that way. And we just put them on right now, so we don't have any data yet, but this will be really cool to look at over time and make sure that everybody's doing good on a day-to-day basis. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.